welcome. Today we're back with some Monogreen hardened skills. I know you guys have been missing the content. And tomorrow, Tuesday, I may be streaming in the afternoon. So look forward to that. But today, I'm going to talk, before the matches, about some card I find it's completely ridiculous. And maybe I'm overreacting a bit. But it's this card of Zendikar Rising. I don't know if you guys seen it. It's called Confounding Conundrum. It's a CC for the friends. So, as always, let's read the card a bit in reverse. So there's two effects this card has. But let's read the second effect. It says, whenever a land enters the battlefield under your opponent's control, so made for commander too. If the player had another land enter the battlefield under their control this turn, they return a land they control to its owner's hand. Let that sink in for a second. You read this and it seems kind of innocuous, but if you start thinking about it a bit more, in Modern there's this card called fetch lands. So most mana bases are based on fetch lands. And so basically, if this enchantment is in the battlefield, and you are the opponent of the player with this enchantment, and you play a fetch land, when you crack the fetch land, if you crack it in your turn because maybe you want to cast your spells, then you'll return a line to your hand. Which may not seem so bad, but if you imagine you have two lines and you play your third line and you need to return a line, that's really, really bad. Because that means the next turn you also have 3 mana. You know what I mean? So it will take you 1 extra turn to get to those 4 mana. So that's just kind of zero, just with the fetch lands. But then, what happens if you, like basically the top of this card, so the one is at its best is a versus round decks. So imagine a card, how ridiculous a card like Farsick looks in Run of Confounding Conundrum. You play 2 mana to put a line card in your hand. Or basically even an Hour of Promise. You know, it will enter 2 lands, it will trigger twice, you will go back to find 5 lands if you have played the land that turn. So in general versus ramp, any ramp strategy, this card is a complete monster, complete nonsense. It completely stops any ramp possibilities, basically. And it's not once a turn, so every time you cast, you bring a line to the battlefield, you will return line, which means whatever. But also, I think if you build around it, this card is extremely strong. And what does it mean building around it? There's basically 3 cards I'm thinking about, which is Ghost Quarter, Field of Ruin, and Path to Exile. And you know, when you start thinking about like a banned Uro deck that plays this card, and I will get into why it plays this card. Imagine pretty similar, pretty normal sequence of events. They play this turn 2. Then you get your turn 2, you play whatever you want, hopefully not a fetch land. Turn 3, let's say we're playing Scales, there's no fetch lands there. Turn 3, they path your dude. Or they Field of Ruin, path your dude. That means that basically Path to Exile now has 0 cost because it puts the card in your hand, basically, if you have played the land. And if you have not played the land, basically, if you play a line, it will return to your hand, so you cannot play a line afterwards, after they have passed you. And so that means that's, of course, very, very strong. And of course, you could always, let's say, fetch and add the mana before it's returned to your hand, like with the trigger on the start, but you know, still you lose the land. So even though you can have 2 mana on turn 3 or 2 mana on turn 2, it's still pretty bad. But a card like Field of Ruin, you know, it can just basically become like a bounce effect for lands, because you just, the guy plays a land, you Field of Ruin him, you get a line back in your hand. So this is of course not really what we want. So and then but the thing is, if you see that this effect actually stacks, so you can get, if you get 3 on the battlefield, a Path to Exile becomes like a Blow Under. Is it called Blow Under? Like this card that puts, well, basically it's not Blow Under because it puts it in the deck, but basically it returns 2 lines to your hand and exiles a creature for 1 mana. And yeah, of course it's a build around it. You know, you need to kind of build around it, right? So of course they built it. You know, this is a very powerful effect. So why would they actually make it so you can put it in any deck in any circumstances? But they did. If we read the first line, what does this card do? Like every Busted card that has been printed in the recent memory, it draws a card when it enters the battlefield. Yes, so basically at the bottomest of the card, like the worst case scenario, let's say the Scrapyard Combiner scenario I showed the other day, basically, you know, what happens if you play Scrapyard and it just dies? What happens if you just play this and opponent has 0 ramp and you have 0 Path to Exile in your hand and you have 0 Fields of Ruin, so basically this card was quote unquote a waste? Well, you still draw a card, so it's not a big of a deal. It's still a ramp. It's still a cantrip. And then it's a cantrip that leaves a permanent behind, so if you feel like it, you could play Yorion and bounce it, you could play the Fairy, bounce it into your hand and replay it for a value, right? Sort of like you did what you did with Argon's Astrolabe. So even if the card does absolutely nothing in the matchup, this is still a cantrip. And it's a good cantrip because it leaves an enchantment behind. Pretty strong. Then you'll think, oh, maybe this card is good against Uropiles. And I will say maybe not. Because after they have the third island in play, they can fetch for the Mystic Sanctuary. And that means that every time they play a land, they actually, or they play a second land, so every time they play a fetch land, they can bounce the Mystic Sanctuary for free. Or every time they attack with Uro, they can bounce the Mystic Sanctuary for free in their hand, replay it, put a spell in their hand, of the graveyard on top of the library, and just pick you that way. So this card is actually not really good against Uro, but with an Uro pile could basically take extreme advantage of this because they can leverage the fact that, you know, of course there's a permanent that controls a card, already a good value there. Then they also already play Field of Ruin. They play Path to Exile, and I'm sure they could play more spells that could give this. I'm sure. I mean, I have not even thought about all the possibilities. And you know, it's just basically at that point, when you have two of these in play, it may be worth it not to fetch when you are being Field of Ruin or when you're being Path to Exile. Then Path to Exile becomes a 1-mana exile creature, which is really, really strong. Or Field of Ruin becomes like Wasteland, or actually Ghost Quarter becomes Wasteland. When you have two of those in play and you have Field of Ruin, it's not Wasteland, but almost there, right? This card is extremely strong, and I'm really not looking forward to playing against it. And I think the most common scenario will be something like, I play this turn 2, you play your 2-drop, whatever. Turn 3, I path your dude, I unramp you, let's say, you get a land back. Yeah, you put a land tab, but you get a land back, yeah. You basically have not developed your mana that well that turn. You know, and after that, turn 4, turn 5, the more of these I play, the more advantage I have every time I play a path, every time I play any basically Field of Ruin, Ghost Quarter. And people have been playing, thinking about putting this in some kind of blue-white taxes deck, and I don't think that's the point. The point with this card is that you can put it in already, like basically a so little cost to put in a banned Uro pile that you can just put it there and win the game with it. You know, it will help you win the game. It will basically fix all your ramp matchups. You don't have to worry about your opponent's growth spirals. You have an opponent worry about Amulet Titan, about Titan Shift, about Scape Shift. All those decks, you're fine. It will make it very awkward for your opponent to fetch. So every time they fetch, they'll return a land. So you need to really be careful where they fetch. Maybe they want to fetch in their turn, but then, yeah, they basically have not used that mana, right? In general, this card will be extremely strong in this control shelter, and it has absolutely zero cost. This is a really strong spell already. Like whenever land develops in your opponent's control, you return a land from your hand, they return a land from that they own. Man, this is already a strong spell. This could see tons of sideboard play if it didn't have the draw card clause attached to it. You could just put in your sideboard, oh, I'm playing against Titan, I'm just going to put 3 of these from my sideboard, good luck. But not only that, it also draws a land, so it can be main decked. You just put it on your main deck, and you just draw that card, and if you want, you can bounce it, and if you want, you can stack it to be 3 or 4 of those, and every time you play a Path to Exile, opponent has to decide if they want to get a land or they want to get 4 lands bounced into their hand. And I think this is ridiculous. I think why would they draw a card? This is something that really like puzzles me. Why would you make this draw a card? Why is it necessary? This effect is so strong already, so specifically strong, and so, like, let's say the ceiling is super high because against a RAM deck you win. Against a deck that has fetch lands, the ceiling is medium. Just it's an annoyance. It doesn't win the game on its own, but it really can help you win the game. You know, with 2 mana, it only costs 2 mana. Like, come on, 2 mana for drawing a card and preventing your opponent from basically ramping or playing a fetch land, and basically every time walking them slightly every time they fetch. It's really good. And then on top of that, it draws a card. I don't know. I think this is ridiculous, and I think I'm not looking forward to playing against this card. I don't know why would they print it. I don't know why would they make it draw a card. I know Standard is having a lot of problems with RAM decks. I know History is having a lot of problems with RAM decks, but I don't think this is the solution. I don't think the solution is to stop printing those busted draw ramp cards. Like, stop printing Uros, stop printing Growth Spirals. Like, cards that both draw and ramp are bad for you. You know what I mean? That's the problem. You draw and ramp is bad. It's a bad combination. They shouldn't be together in a card. It should be either ramp or you draw, but you don't draw and ramp. And I know Explore exists, but Explore is a sorcery, so you cannot just hold on a Remand and then do nothing. Then you play the Growth Spiral. So, you know, basically 0 cost to playing that Growth Spiral. When you play Explore, you tap out for a turn. Very different playstyle, very different lines, very extremely different cards. Anyway, that is my rant for this. I saw this card and I could really, you know, and I'm sure like there will be people that will figure out ways to really like. mean, imagine the blue-white taxes deck I was talking about. Imagine a deck that has this, Learning Arbiter, 4 Ghost Quarters, 4 Fields of Zuin, 4 Path to Exiles, Unsettled Mariner, all those cards in one deck. You know that they can log you out of the game extremely quickly. Extremely quickly, you know, like brutally quickly. You will not probably even realize it, and you know, with a Learning Arbiter and a Ghost Quarter and maybe these, they just have so many ways to kind of log you out of the game and you leave you with one card in hand, with one line in play for the rest of the game. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think, and I hope you enjoyed the Monogreen hardened skills. Much more chill. We're just playing some robots, man, winning the games, and hopefully this card will not hit us too hard because we don't have fetch lands, but I do think this card will make a big impact in this current meta game. Hello, welcome. One more week. Like, this is the second installment of hardened skills for Unborn Workers. I think the series was well enough received. Like, most of my decks are normally like more or less get the same reception. 1 second, sorry, I was bad. Anyway, today I'm gonna be playing basically the deck list that I'm suggesting to play on the, like, basically this is my sideboard guide, and this is the deck list I'm actually describing on the sideboard guide. And of course I will be talking about every single action that I take in the game, but also we'll be spending a bit more time on the sideboarding and trying to understand the basic concepts and why are we, basically you can understand how to use this better if you're a newer player. Let's see how that works. Let's look for a game. I don't think I need to explain the deck list too much. Oh, there's a showcase challenge this weekend, but I don't have enough qualifier points. This is takes. No, this is, of course, this is, you need the tokens, so you need to have actually won one of the showcase challenges. Okay. Modern challenges, preliminaries. This preliminary is 7 hours. There's one in 1 day, so maybe I can play that tomorrow actually. Yeah, but anyway. No, let's not play another league with the winningest of lists. Play it with this league. Yeah, I was planning to play this like yesterday, but then I kind of, played Heliod and Trophied. So nice, let's play. So yeah, yesterday I 5-0'd finally with Heliod, and actually you can see here, while we wait, we can see here the results. I am currently 20-5. So these are my losses: 1 to Ponzo, 1 to Newfound, 1 to Grandfield. So I only lost to like top tier decks and 1 to Red Blood Prowess. So I mean, I guess you cannot even expect a 100% win ratio against certain decks like this kind, right? So you will lose eventually to Black Prowess, and you will lose eventually to Banfield, especially because I played against McWinsauce. Probably one of the better control players out there. Probably better than a lot of the other players. But yeah, here we're waiting for the match to be found. Oh, sorry. Alright, we found a match finally. Yeah, it is a bit scary. It's a bit sketchy that you find with the Helio combo deck instead of the Monogreen. But I mean, I actually haven't 5-0'd this season yet with the Monogreen. But anyway, let's talk about the choices today. So this hand I'm gonna keep, and you should think. I give you 2 seconds to think why would I keep it. Done. And it basically has a good turn 1 play, a very strong turn 2 play, Metallimi plus Ballista, and it has even a good turn 3 play or a backup turn 3 play with an animation module and whatever else we draw. So I'm gonna keep this hand. We are on the draw, and I think opponent has a. What is this? They didn't reveal a companion. We're playing against Addition. So here my thought would be play turn 1 Nozolith, then play Metallimic and Ballista. And then if we draw a line in the next 2 draw steps, we can play Crystal Giant on 3, which is really strong. And if we can't do that, we can play animation module and maybe something else and start making servos. Yeah, I haven't actually 5-0'd with Monogreen in a long time. And I think, you know, I had a bit of a bad luck. I don't think it's super well positioned against Banfield, which is a very popular matchup. But yeah, we're gonna play the Azorius first. That's pretty easy. So that's, I think, one of the reasons that I haven't really 5-0'd. I actually, yeah, and I also played a lot of other things, right? So that also makes it less likely that you 5-0. But in general, yeah, I think the Monogreen is still really strong, and you can 5-0, you can win tournaments with it. But it's not as well positioned as it was versus the banned Snowblade era. Let's see what we're playing against. The opponent was on the Mulligan. This is a Swamp, and this is Thoughtseize most likely. Or, oh, we're against this deck again. Okay, then I'm gonna take away the card that doesn't really do anything on its own, which is a Metallic Mimic. The Metallic Mimic, yeah, I mean, I guess it can prevent the Ballista from being sacrificed to a Smallpox, for example. Yeah, that's actually a good draw. But yeah, maybe I should play the animation model here, I'm not sure. But if they retrace this, which they could, then I may let's see what they do. Each person loses all one life, discards a card, sacrifices a creature, then sacrifices a land. Roll. So I prefer to put the counters over here. Discard a card, and I think I need to discard a Crystalline Jam because we need to sacrifice a land anyway. So let's discard this. This will put the counters over the Azorius, which I enjoy, and a land. It's the second time that I started League playing against this deck. It's becoming quite popular, I guess. I don't think, actually, normal skills kind of sucks against the deck. To be fair, no, I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna play versus Citadel. Play the animation module. Basically, the animation module is hard to interact for them. Yeah, this is a video I need to make in a future. Actually, Hardened Skills is one of the most budget decks ever. Right now in like Monogreen Hardened Skills is a really big budget deck you can play right now because it's really cheap. Like, I mean, I'll make a video about this, but if you look at this, you go online. I mean, this deck has Caverns of Souls on it, but I think no one doesn't play Caverns of Souls now. This deck is 93 ticks. That's like $80 if you buy directly from Card Hoarder. Like if you do this. Okay, this resolved. I'm gonna have to read the card, I guess. Where am I? Yeah. So you go here, this is 73 euros to buy the whole deck, like, on one go. I mean, I think this is rather worth it. Every player discards a card, yeah. They retrace that, I guess, or they cast it, okay, they didn't even retrace it. So, yeah, we just need to draw anything, basically, that puts counters. I don't dislike this because that means I can put a counter on the Azorius. And I don't want to draw, so I mean, I guess they're having a hard time interacting with the Azorius. Okay, they got an extra Urborg or Yakmo. Probably Liliana of the Veil, yep. But I mean, the plusing Liliana kind of. I mean, we don't lose anything. I don't know if I want to put an extra counter here. I think I do. No. Oof! We safety, boys. It's nice because the Urborg makes it so we don't take damage from our lane. Yeah, so it's really cheap, and also on paper it's not that expensive right now. Like, I think you can, I mean, depending where you are in the world, Urban Ravagers are like the cheapest they've ever been. Like, if you go to Car Market, Ravager. It's at 450, like starting at 450, and if you want like a bit more fancy one, it's like 6. I think I can. Somebody needs Urban Ravagers, I can send them to you. Oh, this is a good draw. So we can play the Ballista. We have 0 cards in hand, so the only thing they have going for them is the Liana of the Veil. We put it here. Behave. Yes. Kind of make more servos, but so if they make a sack, we just kill it. If they plus it, we just kill it also, I think, because we can put counters on the Ballista next to animation module. They have 1 card in hand. They can retrace, but it's kind of moppy. Each player discards a card. Cool. Thoughts this. Good job. They are like going for the ultimate here. Okay, Metallic Mimic. So Metallic Mimic can make a servo. Can also just name servo, I think. Or we can put counters away. So they will probably, I mean, if they activate Mutavault to block here, it's not even the end of the world. And if they activate Mutavault to block the Walking Ballista, is also not the end of the world, because they take 1, we still keep the servo, and then we can play the Mimic. Right. So let's go to combat. I'm actually doing this very, very badly. I just realized, okay, this will be a normal stream. I will play another league. I guess I cannot really stream while I'm playing this because I'm distracted looking at more things. So we attack. Maybe they activate the Mutavault. They don't even do that. Geez. So just down. We'll kill the Liliana of the Veil. Then we're gonna make a Metallic Mimic. We're gonna name Servo with it. So after this, yeah. Alright, we won. I don't know, this deck, I find it, I think I played a lot. I also played it the other day live, like when I was playing versus my friends. I don't have a list, like called a sideboard guide for this, but I guess we could just go off the jump one, more or less. So if you don't see a deck that you've seen this also, it's not on the deck list, you can probably just look for the jaunt. And it says here, Castan is a great top deck, but it's awful turn 3 play versus Bolt. But they are not playing Bolt, right? You can see what I'm cutting mostly, and I didn't update actually this section because I don't have that much experience. But I actually have a con here, should be available. Oops, live updates. Okay, but you don't want this member versus Smallpox because they don't play any creatures. You want the Veils, you want the Relics because you can exile their graveyard. I don't think Gravediggers Cage is worth it. And then you probably want to cut Mimics, Steel Overseers, cards that don't do anything on their own. And you can either cut 1 Ozolith. They have really bad ways to deal with it. So, but also they have a lot of ways to discard it, right? So maybe I'm gonna cut a Throne of Death. So I know this is absolutely not what it says here, but it's kind of the same principle, right? We cut the Throne of God, we cut the Silver Seers, the Mimics, and we bring the Veils, but we don't bring in the Dismembers because they don't have any creatures. You're right. I actually forgot they actually play Breach that deck. Ugh, but I guess we can even give them an Igmoth counter and then just proliferate it, so... You're right. I actually forgot that they have Breach. They cannot play Smallpox turn 1. So. I'm just playing Igmoth Nexus first, so I can give them a point, like a poison counter before it's too late. Yeah, I actually should play Gemrazers. They play Breach, but sometimes I think they even cut it, so... they could have Fatal Push here. I don't think I wanna risk. So if they play a Fatal Push, I actually would rather play the Walking Ballista. Probably it's a good idea to play the Breach. So if they Fatal Push this, I would rather, have a Hangavac because it gives more value. Like a Walking Ballista, it's just a way to kill them. Yeah, Fatal Push. That's why I didn't attack with the Igmoth, because that would have been pretty bad. So yeah, I like to play the Hangavac Walker when it's a bit more safe. If the Smallpox has this turn, of course it's not the best, but we can discard the animation module. And, you know, they also temple themselves, so they're not getting great value out of the smallpox. We're not sacrificing a creature. Well, Gem Razor could be good as well. That's totally right. Oh, they play the rack. The rack. At the choose an opponent. At the beginning of a player, okay, the rack does X damage to player, where X is the minus the number card on the rack. Okay. So another rack. Okay, actually Mage and Razor sounds more and more interesting. So we just start the turn. I mean, they have two cards that actually only do damage to us, so yeah, I'm gonna play a Forest, play Hangover Walker. I still have 3 cards in hand. They of course could discard one, but like right now they are under pressure, right? So good. Gem Razor is good. Also deals with the rack, and it deals with the agonize. I think it's called an agonizing remorse. The card that gives them the. Maybe that's a Liliana of the Veil. Yep. So they do plus or minus. So I will discard the animation. We'll take 2 damage from this. It's not the end of the world. The rack. We discarded Smallpox. And so we take 1 damage, but I mean, not the end of the world. More lands. Not bad. We can attack the Liliana. We'll go down to 2. At this point, I'm not even sure if I want to. We can attack the Liliana for 3, put it down to 1. Play a worker and make a servo. Then we have 1 card left in hand, and then we'll take 6 damage from the rack. Ugh. I could also just keep 2 cards. And put a counter here. That's 2 attack. And to 1 the Liliana, they plus discard Forest. I think we want 4 lands into play. That's what we want. I'm doing this because it's like the most card efficient thing to do. Of course, with hardened skills, this would be much better. But yeah, so next turn we'll take 4 damage from the rack. Hopefully kill this Liliana. Another land. They can actually start log winning. Whoa. Scary. We'll actually take. Oh my god. Okay, they're all in on trying to kill us basically. So we really need to kill this Liliana. Wow, they even activate this? I'm gonna block. Life is important, boys. Ravager could be good. I think Ravager could be even almost a kill. Oof. I mean, they are the 8 rack and they have the 4 rack going right now. We lose 6, 10 life. Holy cow. That's a lot. That's a lot. And they retrace something now. Ravager would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 counters. It's not lethal. 8. Big 8. So we keep here. Okay, what we do plan is we attack the Liliana. We put a counter on this. We make a servo. Yeah. Probably is right. I should discard I should keep the lands, so I blank the others. Yeah, I'm actually not that good in this matchup. I actually haven't played it that much. Oh, actually they can. Oh, well, it's okay. We'll just block with a servo. So confusing that they gives you the option to. So yeah, I should have been discarding the spells, not the lands. But we don't play the land because then this way we only take. So they need a discard spell here in order to kill us, which is, you know, they have lots of those. Ravager? Something? Of course, Mutavault can block feature. They can cast a Logwain. Yeah, I should be discarding this worker, so the Thoughtseason and Inquisitions miss. They play a Swamp, and then they will cast a Logwain, I guess. And they'll take 1 damage. That's a strong card, that cast a Logwain. 1 got in hand by opponent. We will take 2 damage from the Rags. Oh, that's a hardened skill. The thing is, I would rather keep 3 cards in hand. I think we cannot really afford to play these hardened scales, because then we could just die to any discard spell, right? So we will just do what we've just been doing every single turn. So 2 counters here. We make a servo, and you just wait to draw a Ravager or something that can finish the game. But you're right, I didn't think about discarding. Like, I should have discarded this so we could. My goal here now is to blank this these blasts of damage. And I'm gonna hit them for 6, so that's a 3-turn clock. And we make a servo block. We just attack them. Of course, Veil is really great. I played this matchup the other day live, and my opponent did this card that says the opponent discards 2 cards unless they discard an artifact spell or something like this, and I veiled that, and they were like, ooh. They took the damage. So they are 11. Can we kill them next time with scales? We put 2 counters over here. That would be 6, 9. No. Where are you, Ravager? That's mana. No, they will activate the ability, but they will take 3. If they take 3, I think we can kill them. They will take 3 from this, so vault. This is an artifact actually, so well, like this. Yeah, only, I mean, they could only have this I mean, this is a skill, right? We have 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, we can just play hardened skills and win. I don't actually play Blast Zone in this, so. But I think just playing a hardened skills should seal the deal. It'll be 9 damage. But I used to play Blast Zone in this deck actually, back in the time. But now with so many, like we have animation model, hardened skills, and Ozolith, it looks like it will hurt us more than it will hurt opponents. We put 2 counters here and we win. Oh no! Oh, of course they have a black. Oops. They have a Fatal Push. Well, we win next turn, I guess, if we don't die. No. We'll take 3, we'll make 6 top tiers. Actually, I used to play Blast Zone, and it was not so bad. You know, yeah, it was a time where people were playing lots of Stony Silences and stuff. It was kind of a really nice out to it on your main deck. So you could actually play it and what are you doing? So now the thought is that they will not discard anything. Ooh, we'll take. Oh, no more discard piece. I actually have forgotten that this could make black. If not, I wouldn't play the scales. We're at 6, so this will deal 2 damage to us and this will 0. But if they discard one more card on our hand, then we die. Yeah, it's mana hungry. It was just a way to, like... Haha! How do you keep this hard card against me, mate? Oh, we took damage, in fact. Are we dead? Alright, we only take 2. I thought we take 2, right? So we're fine. We won. Right? I mean, am I missing something? I mean, this deck is kind of okay, we won. Oh, I actually have lost to this deck quite a lot. I mean, actually, I haven't lost to it recently, but I used to lose to it quite a lot. Yep. So, thankfully, we had the artifact to discard. Do you think? Why would you play Collective Brutality? I guess it's a good removal spell. Yeah, I should have played... I should have discarded the Worker earlier, but I guess... And Dark Citadel is also an artifact. It's also a good idea to keep in hand against them. Yeah, but... Do you guys use my sideboard guy? Is that something that people are interested in on seeing? On like... You know, I mean, I know you guys know how to play the deck. I just need... I mean, like... You're interested. Like, I think... I mean, it's kind of cool, and it has a lot of info and a lot of my thoughts, and it's free, right? So I mean, it can't be too bad. So we're looking for a second opponent. I think we played exactly against this opponent the other day. We're on the rack as well. I don't know. I don't know what kind of like. I think like different decks kind of appeal to different personalities. What personality appeals to the rack player? Yeah, probably don't have anything to bring in. They could. I think they have Leyline of the Void. I think on the sideboard sometimes. I think they should bring that in if they have it. But what kind of player plays the rack? You know. I mean, it's an interesting deck. The scales deck list, you can find it on like the sideboard guide. You can find it on a YouTube video I made and on the description of my YouTube videos, or you can just find it here. You playing green-white scales? Is it like with Heliod or just green-white scales in general? I'm gonna be playing first. Hopefully we're not playing against a rack. Again. This hand. Hand just sucks. And this hand is not that... yeah, it's okay actually. I'm gonna put the worker back. Poor people. I wonder what is it that you play, like, is it play like Heliod scales or you play the green-white with Lurus? I guess there's another point to playing green-white if you're not playing Lurus, right? So next turn we have Metallic Mimic and Hangabag Walker. Oh, now is the choice. Do we go for it? I'm gonna play the Hangabag only. I don't want to get blown up by a Path to Exile on the Metallic Mimic. Yeah, right. What is it in green white that is good against prowess? I'm actually curious. I haven't played green white in a long time. Is it like a Ethersworn Canonist or something like that? See you, Unlimited Moon. Enjoy. Oh, this is a Stoneforge deck. Oh, Deafening Silence. That's spicy. So let's see what they get. They get Battle Skull. Okay. I can get the Giant down. Or Stealer Seer. Huh. I'm just gonna get the Giant down. I'm gonna tag them. They will not block, but... I made a mistake, boys. Okay, in this case, I'm gonna play the Stealer Seer. Okay. I made a mistake. I should play this before combat, but I was reading chat. Oh. I don't blame you. I blame myself. So now they could have a counter spell, or they could have a... yeah. I'm just saving the Mimic for when I draw animation model, basically. I'm gonna play the Crystalline Giant. Then I'm gonna pump the team. So this way, this guy doesn't get the... Battle Skull is a 4/4, right? Yeah. Do I care? Like, let's see what this boy gets. Lifelink, not bad. So do I care if... That's a question. Do I care if my dude gets trades with a Battle Skull? Not necessarily. But I also want to... I mean, if they have a board wipe next turn, then we can just put this on 6 and kind of win the game for them. Yeah, that's actually... Deafening Silence makes a lot of sense. Probably Path to Exile is also really good against them too. So yeah, they make the dude... Living Weapon. But I think they cannot attack with this Living Weapon. I mean, the new Nahiri makes this for every equipment you ever own, right? Feel of Ruin against this. Good job, boy. So no Super Inverted for you. That's good to know. They cannot attack us. And this, Crystalline Giant, you know, getting the value. I would like to draw a sack outlet so we could actually sack this Hangabag Walker. Oh, immediately. Another Forest Name. I guess I could put this on top there. I don't think they have a way to destroy it. Anyway, we will attack. Maybe I should put this here. So Crystal Giant gets an ability. What it is, what it is, what it is. I mean, I love this shit, man. I'm addicted to... Oh, it's a Death Touch ability. Nice. So we'll just hit them. Oh, they have Cryptic. Cryptic tap draw is not the end of the world at this stage. We can put a counter here and we can pump the team. Tap all creatures, draw a card. Okay, so... Yep. They will gain for life. I almost willingly tap my creatures. So, yep. Go to post-combat. If I played this pre-combat, they could have countered it, I guess. So, I'm gonna save this forest in hand because this doesn't make sense. And I will say top tier. It's not that they have a way to deal with this, but if we are able to sacrifice it, we win the game. They play one Super Verdict, I think. Yeah, they don't have Path to Exile. I'm pretty sure about that too. And they cannot fix their mana with a Field of Ruin. Because all our cards... I love this, by the way, of playing 4 assets for an 8 forest. Like, Field of Ruin becomes such a liability. They died the game for life. That's not the end of the world. I mean, basically at this point, they need to keep crypting us. I guess they can get Mystic Sanctuary, put Cryptic back on top, but... Ooh, Ravager. Ravager is great, but I want to go to combat first, so if they have a Cryptic, they use it. Death Touch, Lifelink, Vigilance. 7/7. So you have a Cryptic, they use it, we cast a Ravager, and then we can put tons of pressure onto them. Still Overseer, man. Okay, so I'll just attack also with a Metallic. Should I attack with a Metallic Mimic? I mean, if they block, we trade, but I don't love it. Yeah, if they feel the Darksteel Citadel is the dream, you know? I mean, they're actually dead if they don't have anything. I mean, if they don't block and don't have anything. I mean... We also have liveling, okay. Bounce? No. Motherfuckers. I guess they could have come to the Ravagers, so doesn't matter. I guess they steal our boy. Well, goodbye. But they still take 9, gain life. This sucks. How did they play as Mrs. Charm? I guess, I don't know. So we play the Ravager. We'll still keep a land in hand just to give the appearance that we have something else going on. I guess if I had played the Armistice Charm, if I had played the Ravager, they could have stolen the Hangavag Walker. In response, but at least we knew. We didn't give them extra counters, but then they have a blocker, so yeah. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, I don't think they... I mean, they could have had Leak, but they didn't cast it on the Giant or the Steel Overseer or the Hangava Walker, right? So I kind of assumed they wouldn't have it. They stole our boy! But anyway, the Mythic Crystalline Giant will just carry us. So let's see what our opponent's doing. It's on the tank. Maybe they can get the Cryptic back. The problem is we're almost dead if they put the Cryptic back on top. Tap us. Yeah, Armistice Charm. Be brutal. So they put Cryptic back on top. I think that's what I would do at least. I would put Cryptic back on top. Of course, they don't put Cryptic back on top. Interesting. And they also don't crack the fetch line. I guess they just drew the up because you could have put Cryptic back on top and draw it with this up. I don't know. Puts a card on top of the library. Cool. No attack. Maybe they have another Cryptic. I'm just gonna play a worker. Pre-combat. So let's see what our boy Crystal Giant gets. Vigilance, Death Touch, Liveling, Mana. So now it needs to be blocked by 2 dudes. Would I attack? So yeah, if I attack, I can put 2 counters. Attack, yeah. And then they make 12 Topters. Need to block with 2 dudes. Do I like this? Death Touch, we also kill both of them, but I mean, that's not that good either. Lifelink, Vigilance. So we get an 11-11, then we can give it a 14-14. And yeah, we could pump it even more, but... not like giving them time. We just go for it. They have 5 cards in hand. I mean, going for it is kind of... I could just attack with everything and YOLO. Yes. Choices. Choices, man. I mean, they didn't put a Cryptic on top, so that tells me they have to have something, right? They cannot just not have anything. You chill for 1 round. That's probably a good idea. Yeah, I'll chill for 1 round. It's probably the smartest play. See what they do. I'm not gonna play a forest. I mean, we can still pump with Steel Overseer. We can sack things. They path. Okay, they had a path actually. So I can sack and put the counters over here. I'm probably just gonna pump. I'm gonna probably gonna sack the Darcy Field. It doesn't do anything. I mean, we have a lot of mana anyway. And sack it to itself. Here, I mean, if we get flying or something on the giant. Such misses. The Walker is 12-12. They stole it, man. Snapcat. Oh, they have Snap Path. Damn. Damn, son. Yeah. Okay, so anyway, attacking would not have done anything. Yep. Goodbye, Sweet Prince. So, yeah. I mean, they're very low on life. But Giant can get Hexproof, yeah. I was hoping to get Hexproof. They have Path and Snap to Path. I mean, that's kind of hard to play around. Double Path. But if at any time we had drawn a ballista, then it would have been different. Still, our boards are pretty big, so this Mimic can actually hold off the gem. If they tap, okay, they just equip it there. The 16 lifelinker. Ugh. That's really rough. Yeah, sadly, I actually didn't think about the Armage's Charm. That's why we're losing this game, because of the Armage's Charm. The rest kind of better, but I don't play chokes, no. So we get a Ravager. I mean, Ravager is decent. If they overextend at all, we can actually beat. So, nice thing about Ravager is that we can block the, unless you have another path or something, we can block whatever and then sack it. And then we draw a list or something, we can win. We also play four Ancient Ceilings this match, so they attack. We block with the Worker, say okay. Pump with the Steelers here, which has been pumping. And then we sacrifice here, put them over here. And if they have a path, they have a path, you know. At this point, so we don't take damage off the Hanging Rock. I don't play chokes, I think that's a bit too slow. Okay, that's an interesting thing, so we're gonna play it. See if they counter it. No, I'm gonna get a ballista. We cannot play around. We cannot play around Mana Leak anyway, so might as well just play for X equals 2. Yeah, Ima doesn't do much. I think ballista is fine. Ballista can win the game actually. Of course, if they have Cryptic. But we cannot play around the Mana Leak, so. Okay, that's a Shark for 0. Interesting. So they're digging for a Cryptic. Oh, they found it too. Brutal, man. That's lucky. That's lucky. We could have won here because we block with the Steel Overseer, pump the team, sacrifice it, and next turn we just kill them. Yeah, I can see this game. Alright, so sometimes it happens. They steal your Hangout Walker. These cards I like in this matchup. This, I don't love. This I hate. Please take out. I take out one because the match goes long, even though I didn't draw one this game. The match goes long and they really don't have many ways to deal with it, right? So I like to cut a worker. Silver was great. I think I like it, especially on the play. I think I'm not gonna have 3 gem raisers. That seems a bit much. And then I don't know about Throne of Geth. It always feels kind of medium in this matchup. I'm gonna got it. Ballista would have been no, we couldn't kill him, but then we could block with the Steel Overseer, pump, sacrifice the Steel Overseer, then we get a 17 Ravager and a 4/4 Ballista, and then from there basically, actually we could have even killed the Hangavak, right? And then basically we just try to find an opening to win. I mean, would not have been easy, but maybe it would have been possible. But with the pump and everything. But yeah, I like 2 gem razors. I don't think 3 is worth it. I'm not sure about the Ozolith cut though. The more I think about it, maybe I should cut an animation module too against specifically the Stoneforge deck. Yeah, I think the Throne of Geth. I mean, now that the more I think about it, actually, I shouldn't. I'm approaching this match a bit too much like a control deck, and it's more like a mid-range deck. But yeah, I don't know. I want to make space for the rest of the deck cards, and Throne seems a bit. Okay, we have Relic, we have Veil, we have Animation Module, but we don't have lands. I guess we can find one with Ancient Stealing, so whatever. Hey, Mulligan. Yeah, it's one of the good things we can do, but we have other Sagadas, right? We have Ravager. Relic, Animation Module. None of them do much. One, I guess I can get Relic and start. They don't play Uro, but still, it's a good to. They probably play Mystic Sanctuary and they play yeah, it's a decent hand. I just need to draw lands. I'm gonna run into the spells now here. Okay, so these things. Hopefully, no Spell Pierce. So Forest and work on the Forest. Order Forest. So now we wanna, when they fetch, we wanna exile it. I mean, it doesn't really do anything, but they could play Logic Knot, which could be decent. But we just exile it right away. You don't want to give your opponent like chances to. The most scary thing they could play right now is a Stoneforge Mystic. The rest, I'm kind of fine. Or they have it. This is not as scary as a good old. Maybe he had it in hand, you know. That's the. Not finding a land here, obviously not the dream. We could have loved to make a servo here. I'm gonna play a Ravager. Big off battle scope. Yeah, missing a land drop is not great. Needless to say. But I guess I kept the one lander. I also ancient strings for a land. I think if they path it, I'll let it go. Yeah, actually, I'm less and less sure how I sideboard. I think I miss sideboard really badly in this match. Maybe I should bring in these members. Maybe I shouldn't cut the Throne of Geth, but yeah. They show, yeah. The Fairy Time Raveler. Okay. This card looks worse. Okay. No, I mean, not the end of the world at all. I actually prefer they play the Fairy than that they play. They should die with this. That they play the other thing, because they're called. No lands. I just want to play it. Guess we could draw a card with this. So bad though. What are the chances of actually drawing a land? Very low. They can't. They could. They can't steal it because they have Teferi and Rattle in the deck. I just need to draw land, man. I'm falling too much behind if I'm not drawing lands. Okay. I know I only play 22 lands, but I know I get the one lander, but I have also Ancient Steering, so this is not looking great. Stormforge actually is harder than Control a lot of times. Especially if we keep drawing like this, I mean. Alright, we play Ravager. Gets countered. We put the Battle Skull down. Yeah, at this point, I mean, that was our turn to draw land or go bust, basically. Because we could have even bailed before. But now with the Fairy, we cannot bail. Then they have the Jam to kill us. They even have okay, they put a Spellsnare back. They have play Misty Sanctuary. Yeah, Bail sucks. I shouldn't bring in Bail in this matchup. Doesn't do enough, I think. I mean, what's my plan here? Okay, it's turn 6 and we drew only 2 lands and we had an Ancient Steering, so I think, yeah. I mean, I actually missideboarded quite a lot, I think. But yeah. They could have stolen the Azorius if they wanted. But they can also bounce it with the Fairy next turn. I mean, especially if we don't draw another land, they have Spellsnare. Okay. The problem here is they have Spellsnare, right? So I need to play the Veil first. I'm surviving that. But never give up, I guess. Play the Angular Walker. Because they have the Teferi, I have to do this. If not, because they also have Spellsnare in hand, right? I mean, if they have they actually could Mystic Sanctuary for Amadeus Charm and steal the Hangarlog Walker. If they have another Mystic Sanctuary, maybe they will. If they do that, if they actually, okay, yeah. I could have played the Ballista, but what does that accomplish? So, we got wrecked.